Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're here with some King Arthur Legends Rise. It is that time. Big shout out to them for sponsoring this video. If you wanted to check the game out, there's going to be a link down below that you can click and jump on in. This actually came at a really good time. I'm sure you've heard me mention this game a few times over the last month. I've been playing it very heavily for the last month or so, and global launch just happened a couple of days ago. So now it's playable on phones and all that. So again, if you want to jump in, there's a link down below. And a big shout out to them for sponsoring this one. This was probably about to happen anyway, so I appreciate the fact that they reached out. I just want to show you a little bit about this game, show you why I like it so much, and see if maybe it's something you wanted to check out. Because there are a lot of things to like about this game, and I think it's just got massive potential to be among the best in the genre for sure. So straight out of the gate, you can look at it and see that it looks really good. Another really cool thing is there's kind of a city building aspect, and at certain thresholds, you'll get visual upgrades as you upgrade your buildings, which is pretty cool. So like right now, my castle's under construction to go up a level, and there's like scaffolding and stuff all over, which I think is pretty cool. But beyond that, the battle system is so fun. It's so interesting in this game. If you like mechanics, if you're a big fan of the mechanics in these games, of like solving the problems in different dungeons and finding solutions in your champs, this game is going to be a lot of fun for you because it's very mechanic heavy. There are a lot of very different mechanics throughout the game, but through your roster, even as a free-to-play player, I'm free to play. I have not spent any money in this game or gotten any resources or anything. I have the same free-to-play account anyone else who is free-to-play has. And you see I've got a lot of rares, and there's a couple of uncommons that I have built. Most of the champs, in one way or another, are very usable in different places in this game. And that's something that I've always really appreciated when devs consider. So you just kind of have to explore your roster a little bit and find ways to solve all the different problems in the game. So we'll jump into a battle in a minute and talk a little bit about what's going on. But another cool thing is that you have your champion who has skills inherently, right? That tend to be like passive skills. They tend to be some sort of passive skill, usually with some sort of cooldown, but not always. But then they also have relics. If she'll put her hand down, there you go. So they have relics, which are their weapons, which also are where their active skills come from. So you can modify those to the 3 elements in the game. At least right now, I have a theory that at some point we're going to get 2 more, and it's going to be kind of a light and dark version. I don't know if that's true, but that's my speculation. But you can, so in essence, you can change the element of a character. So there's no like, I have this character that's fire that would be really good in this dungeon, but I can't use them because it's an ice dungeon. You can swap their relic to the element that would fit you. And many times the skills also change. So for example, right now I have Kay's wind relic equipped, which is really just set up to do a bunch of multi-hits and big damage. So like she's going to be really good in one of the dungeons where you need to get multiple hits to get through a shield. But then she also does big damage, so she's kind of good in most places. But if I needed her to also do big damage and have a heal block, for example, I can put her her ice relic on her and take her into the dungeon with her ice relic on, and she can still do good damage for me, but now she's got a debuff that's important for me, right? And then same with like the fire relic. So it's a pretty cool system in that all of your champs have a lot of potential in a lot of different directions. No one's ever excluded from anything. If you think they could be good in a dungeon, you can acquire their relic that would be more suitable for that dungeon and take them in there. So I think that's a pretty cool system. I like that idea. Beyond that, as far as battles are concerned, I'm trying to think of what's a good one to show you. I mean, I guess I could show you a Gorgos run. So there's different dungeons in the game, obviously, pretty standard, where you farm your different materials. They're all incredibly important. This is where you get gold and experience potions. And the big thing about this dungeon is that he really only takes dot damage. You can't really go in and bully this dude down with nukes. You have to put dot damage on him. You also need to be able to cleanse dots because he places a lot of dots. So there's also repeat battles in the game that are just unlimited. They're not behind a paywall. They're not limited. They're only limited to your energy, and there's a couple of different, things you can set. So we just want to nuke our way through the boss. We're not going to worry about killing his arms in this one. So we'll jump in and I'll let you see a little bit of combat real quick. The graphics are just really good in this game. That's the cool thing too, is there's different camera angles. So this one's a little bit more dynamic. The camera will jump around as different things happen. I tend to kind of like my camera to just stay locked in place though. But yeah, this is this is the boss. These are chills, which are like the ice dots. There's different dots for different elements, and again, there's a lot of mechanics in this game. It's really interesting. There just seems to be so many ways to solve all these problems. You can also come in here and go skill order settings and kind of do a quick version of AI skill priority. So like, I want this guy to use his A3 because it places, it places dots. He's got potential to place 3 dots with it. This guy has a passive that cleanses dots from us. She's our healer. And then she's passively healing with the A1 and also placing a dot. And this is how we're able to farm this dungeon. But again, there's a lot of different ways that you could come in here and do this. If I can get him skilled up, he'll go from a 50% chance to place dots to a 75% chance to place dots, and this dungeon will speed up quite a bit for us. But anyway, over here you can see the turn order, which is very useful information. And then down here you've got vigor, which is like the energy for the battles. So a lot of the skills on relics, a lot of your active skills don't have cooldowns, they have a vigor cost. So he can A3 every turn as long as I've set my team up in a way where he's got 3 vigor available to him every time he gets a turn. So it's very different in that regard than a lot of other games that I've played before, where it's just typical, like they have these skills and these skills have these cooldowns. If you can set up the right kind of, you know, synergy to your team and let it flow appropriately, you can have certain champs using their most powerful skills every turn. And then there's a gear set that charges extra vigor, so you could get 1 or 2 of those in the team. Like, there's a lot of possibilities here with team compositions and problem solving and all that. There's also weather effects. I think he's gonna die, but there's weather effects on any given stage. So like, and then you click it and it tells you kind of who's being affected by what and how they're being affected. You have some champs that can change the weather, so that some champs will change it from day to night. Some champs will make it rain, like, and that's something to be very mindful of. There's a lot of different champ synergies in the game, so let's see if I can, maybe I'll do it in a campaign stage to show you what I'm talking about. Just the battle setup screen anyway. You see some champs have these 3 dots here. That means that someone on the team has synergy with them, and when I put them in, they'll talk to whoever they have synergy with. And there are different synergies. Sometimes it's like when one champ A uses their A1, the other one will jump in and attack with them. There's like there's different synergies in the game. So that's something to also keep in mind. There's a lot of different things to keep in mind before you even get into the battle. And then once you're in the battle, there's also a lot of other stuff to be mindful of. So there's plenty of content right now as well. Again, the game just globally launched. So you've got a lot of the standard stuff. You've got Arena, you've got a story mode, which is going to be the more recognizable version of a campaign. Different chapters, different stages, rewards as you go. But then there's also this adventure mode that plays more like an RPG. You actually are on a map. You can WASD move around if you're playing on PC. And it's you know, you're running around and talking to people and getting into different fights and trying to find all the chests in different areas, and it's a little bit more of a game. And there's also no stamina required. It says that here. So if you're out of energy farming your dungeons and stuff, there are still things you can go do that don't cost you energy. Arena is unlimited. You can farm as much arena as you want to farm. Adventure mode is unlimited. You can farm as much adventure mode as you want. So you could really play this game all day, in theory, while you wait on your energy to recharge. So beyond that, you can jump in and burn your energy real quick and jump back out if you need to. Like, it doesn't require that you be here all day, but for the people that do want to play all day, you certainly can. So there's a lot to talk about, but I think in order to keep this video from being an hour long, we'll wrap it up here. Again, a big shout out to them for sponsoring this video. It's really cool to be working with them because I'm such a fan of the game. So if you decide that you want to check this one out, there will be a link down below. And I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a good one, and we'll see you next time.